Welcome back to another Tutorial Tuesday. My name's Lloyd Barnes. Loud clap. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make the very trick that you just seen. It's a gimmicked card that does all the work for you. The best part about it is that it's incredibly easy to make. And in fact, you can make it in just a few minutes and there are no flaps involved. Those magicians already watching will know what I mean. But if you're too lazy to make the gimmick yourself, then all you need to do is make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment something down below, and I will pick a winner at random and send you the very gimmick that we make in today's video and ship it to you wherever you are in the world. And by the way, there's a huge number of people that watch these videos that are not subscribed, so maybe consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy what you see, and if you don't enjoy it, then you can always unsubscribe at a later date. So let's dive into making the gimmick. First thing you need to do is cut out the face of a card box and leave the lip on. Now take a playing card. A court card is better, but it doesn't matter what you use. And you're basically going to line up the card box on it and pull back about this far, okay? Because this is going to be hidden on the underside of the card. And now we're going to add in holes. Now we're going to take the card box, place it under the card, and thread, elastic thread through those holes. So we'll make 2 loops. And now just tie a double knot in this thread. And I'm tying it on the back side because you don't want the knot showing. And then cut off the excess. Make sure not to cut off the knot. That's one side. Now let's do this side. And again, cut off the excess. Pro tip is don't stretch it too much too quickly. You kind of need to break the thread in a little bit. You kind of need to just work it in a bit before, otherwise it'll snap. See if we can stretch that thread slowly. Okay. Now we're going to score, just gently score along this edge. And this is this edge here. We're going to score along it so that it becomes flexible and not stiff, and you'll understand why in a moment. Okay, and we want this to be able to flex back and forth quite a lot. Now we're going to cut off a part of this box, and we're going to cut off about the halfway mark. Like so. Because next we're going to be fixing a card onto the box. But the first thing we need to do before that is just trim down the edges. I'm going to push the box over slightly. Trim down here. Now we can take some double stick tape. So that we can take a random blue card and adhere that to the back. Okay, just like this. And that's basically our gimmick. Now you may have issues with this piece not aligning when it shoots back in. So what you can do is take the backing card off, and underneath you can take some tiny disc magnets and you can place 1 or 2 in position to lock the gimmick in place when it fires back in. And I can put some tape over it. Just like that. Do the same on the other side, and it's a little bit of a tricky process on the other side. So what I've done is stuck the other magnets to this. This is the sticky side. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to slide it against this magnet under here. It's a little bit tricky to see. And now when it comes to its resting place, if I stick down now, that magnet's going to stick to this card. Okay? and now it'll snap into place and lock. This means when we put a different card on here this time, or a different back card, and adhere it on, okay, with the stick tape, when it fires out, it'll want to lock into place and it won't be misaligned. So as you can see, it'll shoot in really nicely there. Let's learn how to perform all the different effects. So the way to perform this is pretty simple. I'm guessing most of you, if you've made the gimmick, you're already playing around with it. I'm going to show you how to do the color changing box and a few other things. So what you need to do is, when you're ready to perform, take out a regular deck of cards. And what's nice is that this is left totally clean. Place your gimmick on top with the blue side facing down. And then you're going to bring out the gimmick slightly. Okay, just the lid. And just flip it over the end. All right. And now you're ready to perform. So if you want to, you can set this up in your pocket, because this is an opener type of effect. So this is the type of thing you would do to really quickly grab someone's attention before you start performing the main pieces of magic. So you can have this set up ready to go, bring it out, start like this. Now what you're going to do is bring the gimmick back to show that it's a red box, all right? And because the card is going to line up somewhere around here in the middle, you don't want to hold too far forward. So I just pinch it at the bottom edge, really close to the edge, or bottom corner. And it's really simple for the color change. You pull back to display the red box with the playing card. I then reposition my thumb right here and my finger underneath, and I'm literally just going to tilt back. Because two things are happening at once. The main thing is they see the box change color. And when they see the box change color, they're focusing here. So you say, watch the box, watch that it's red. And then I tilt up, and immediately, as I release everything, I just tilt this card back, like this. And you'll notice right here there's an open edge, right? And we'll talk about that in a second. But this startling change happens here, and a split second later, and it's too late by this point, this card is also turned over and has changed color. But they can't quantify how this works. It's just like the trailer that just catches you off guard the very first time you see it. And since it's an opener, you're golden. So it changes really quick, and you will notice that it's got this wide edge here. And all I do is I continue this rotation around, and look at that. That's just a normal thin card edge right here at the front. They can't see anything. So basically what I'm doing is just turning this over end for end. But because they're seeing two things happening at once and it's quite startling, they then get left with this image. And from here, you can take the rest of the cards out of the box and you can switch this out, or you can just simply go to your pocket with it. So that's how to do the color change deck. I'll show you one more time. I have it red side face up. I flip the lid over. I pull back. I just change the card instantly like that. For some of the other effects, I just take the blue card off and I place a face up card here. Stick it back on. And then I can do things like making a deck completely vanish. So you can make the box completely vanish and it's left with a card. So imagine you had a card selected and it's the Jack of Clubs. You can then bring out this from your pocket. You can say, look, I've got a card here. It's a Joker in a box or something, and just make that card appear. So you can pull back. You can just make that card, the box vanish, and be left with a card. So this can be a selected card. So you don't really want to be left just holding the gimmick card. So it's nice to add some other objects or other things to it. So for one example, you can have a face-up other Jack or whatever card you've got to match this, and a selected card, for example, like the Five of Clubs. You can have those under it. You can pull back, make the box vanish like this, and now you can reveal that everything's gone except for their selection sandwiched between two Jacks, and the focus will then be on the selection, which is a really nice routine, and you can put the rest of the routine to it yourself. And lastly, you can get creative. You can have things like AirPods or Tic Tacs, and what you can do is you could reach, say, I need to take out my keys, my Tic Tacs, whatever it is, your phone, from your pocket. You reach into your pocket, come out and say, oh, nope, that's not them. You know, as if you've made a mistake accidentally bringing out your cards in a box. And you say, don't worry, I'm a magician, I can fix that. Boom. And then just make the box vanish and you're left with whatever it is you were originally going for in your pocket. Like I said, if you would like to win the very gimmick that we just made in today's video, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment something down below. I'll pick a winner at random and send it to you wherever you are in the world. Just a few tips on performing this effect in the real world. I wouldn't just make the box vanish because you'll be left with a dirty card and they'll be looking for where it's gone. Rory Adams actually taught me this principle. He's the writer of oneahead.com. It's the best blog on magic and creativity in the world, bar none. Rory's one of the best magic consultants on the planet, and he writes an all-access magic blog. And I recommend everyone go and sign up to it if you're interested in creating or making your magic better and stronger. There's a link in the description down below and on screen. This is not a paid promotion. I just highly recommend it because I learned from that blog. But he says that if you're going to make something vanish, don't just leave it gone because they'll be looking for it and then you're left with a dirty card. What you should do is make it transpose or change or into something else where the focus will go. So in the case of vanishing the card box, don't just vanish it. Maybe have it transposed back to your pocket or somewhere else, because when they go to that destination, that's the end point. That brings the effect full circle, and it gives you great misdirection time to switch out the gimmick. And a few other things that take your time making the gimmick. Maybe make a few of them back and forth. I know you can make it in under 5 minutes, but I would say that the longer you spend on it, the more it's going to work better for you, and that doesn't even make sense. The better it's going to work for you, and the longer it's going to last you. The other thing I'll say is that this isn't the best box vanish or change in the world, but there's some trade-offs in the fact that it's incredibly easy. It doesn't use flaps, which I find can sort of be exposed. Like when you perform, people can spot them flipping over, or there's the big line through them in the middle all the time. And what's nice about this is that you're left with one card, so it can be a joker and you can just ditch that in your pocket, as opposed to having the gaff left in the deck itself. And then what's nice is that when you like make it change color, like into a blue card box, that card box is completely free of gimmicks, which is really interesting to think about. And that's it, that's the end of the video. Really quickly, if Drew is out there watching, Drew is a community member that's a grandfather and he was learning from my channel to teach his grandkids magic. I haven't heard from you in a while, and normally you would comment on the videos, so I've just been thinking about you. I hope you're doing okay out there, my friend. Please let us know you're alright in the comments down below. And if anyone out there is watching and hasn't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Until the next video, I'll see you very, very soon. Peace.